So I'm Michaela. I'm very happy I'm here with my brother Martin Kirketab, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Olympic Games today.
I was lucky enough to compete in the Olympics in China in 2008. I was participating in sailing in the discipline 49er sailing, and we were representing Denmark. We came out very successful. We won.
It was a little bit dramatic within the race and the mast broke. So how did you feel in that moment?
The moment when the mast broke is a moment I will never forget. We need a half decent race to win, which is super good, and then boom, the mast breaks down and your world falls down. This is your dream, this is what you've been training for, this is your goal, and you're so close to success, and then this happens, and it feels terrible. It's like we were out.
And then what happened?
In order to be on a yacht race, you need a boat. So there were one boat that was not de-rigged. That was a Croatian boat, so we just hurried up and started rigging the Croatian boat. People started calling them and saying, you cannot steal another man's boat. And then all the Croatians, all of a sudden, they come running down to us, and then we see them. We don't know if it's to stop us or to help us, but those guys are the best. They're helping us, and they're really, take our boat, do your best, go and do your job. And they were really helping us, pulling up the sails like crazy. And all of a sudden there was this great atmosphere in the marina, and we were back on the boat, and we were, hey, everybody was, hey, go, go, go.
So in the end you did win. So from going from this feeling like no hope left, and then you do win at the end, how does that feel then?
So many thoughts go through our heads, and it's really, so when the scoreboard comes up and it says Denmark #1, you don't know what to do.
Okay.
It's an explosion of feeling. It's unreal. Sailing is a sport where you peak rather late and you can be very old because it takes a lot of experience. Especially sailing requires many years of experience. So,
So when did
it's basically a lifetime. All the sailors who does Olympic sailing is started sailing when they were like 9, 10, 11, 12 years old.
Do you think you're better than your partner?
That's a question I've never been asked before, and I never really thought about that because there's nothing to think about in that matter. All that matters is you're together in a team, you got to do well together.
When you won, were you calm or did you freak out?
Freaked out,
You
100%.
freaked out. How did you prepare yourself for the Olympic Games? How did you prepare yourself?
The main thing about doing well is the preparation. You got to find your own way, and you got to think about what works for you. It's a very individual thing. You got to make a plan and stick to it because you know it works for you. What is just important is not staying still and just not do anything else, because now you won the Olympics, then you can lay back and sleep for the rest of your life and enjoy it. That's not the case. You just got to set yourself new goals, set yourself new standards you want to reach. So you don't just stop and lay back. I'm way too young for that.
So do you have any advice to young people who also have a dream, who wants to reach something with the sports?
For me, it's about setting high goals and then fight extremely hard to reach those goals. And on the way, have fun and enjoy the journey.
So thank you, and thank you from Berlin Cosmopolitan School. We're very happy. It's nice. Yeah, come love and hot.
Dankeschön.
Hello, my name is Mary Osborne Andrews, and I'm a 1980 Olympian from the United States. I threw the javelin, which is the spear. Had a great time competing in Europe in 1980.
How did you get the information from the U.S. boycotting the Olympics?
We were told basically through the media that a boycott may occur. But our coaches did a really good job of just keeping us focused on getting ready. So it wasn't until after I made the Olympic team that we got the final word we would not be going to Moscow.
Did you feel that the U.S. did the right thing by boycotting in the Olympics?
No, I do not. The whole mission of the modern Olympics is to create a better and more peaceful world through youth participating in sport. President Jimmy Carter, just did not get that.
How long did you practice per day?
Typically 4 to 6 hours a day. I would get up and get to school about 6 or 6:30 a.m. and would often be lifting weights in the weight room. Then I go to school, and then after school, in the technical training of javelin.
What's your personal record?
My personal record is 181 feet 3 inches. To make the Olympic team in 1980, you had to be in the top 3 at the Olympic trials. You had to have thrown over 180 feet 5 inches or do that at the Olympic trials. Going into my final throw, I was in 4th place, and my best throw ever was 175 feet. So in that moment, I was not going to make the Olympic team. So I have 1 throw left, and after this throw, I am an Olympian. And with that attitude, I threw my last throw, threw 181 feet 3 inches, took 3rd place, and made the Olympic team on my last throw. Woohoo!
Who is your inspiration or role model as a javeliner?
As a sports person, my role model was my dad, Bill Osborne. He had been a coach at the high school and college level. He had been an athlete. His inspiration to me was the life lessons you can get from athletics, the camaraderie, and a very positive relationship to competition. So if you look up competition in the dictionary, it means together we rise. And I always felt like if my competitor was doing better than me, that just helped me do better, and vice versa. I think there's 4 lessons we can learn from Olympians. One is believe in the possibility of what you can do. Name and claim what you want, because I believe the motivation, the energy to do things in life is based on choosing things that you really want, not what you should do, could do, or ought to do. Be in action every day. Whatever you love and whatever you want to accomplish, do something every day and learn from it. Team up. Like, none of us do this alone. Really build a team around you to support you and be part of other people's teams to support them.
Did preparing for the Olympics make you more self-motivated than you were before?
So motivation kind of comes and goes, but action is where you get your consistency. I think the biggest source of self-motivation is passion. If I'm doing what I love, I'm going to be motivated to do it.
How important was it to you to win rather than to just do your best?
Zephyr, that's a great question. To me, it was always both. Like, I always wanted to win, and I always wanted to do my best.
Do you think competition helps advance the civilization?
Most definitely, because competition is really a natural thing. We can create a better and more peaceful world through youth participating in sport. It's the competition that is together we rise.
How did the fact that people cheat by doping make you feel?
When I was competing, the use of steroids was a well-known fact. I chose to do my best as a natural athlete. For me, there was just no other choice. I was not willing to do something to my body that I didn't believe was the right thing to do.
Could you tell us some of the dark sides of competition?
Yeah, there's a few. One is definitely the political aspect. For some of the athletes, that was really dark. Like, they had sacrificed so much to be there. In my sport, it's not so bad because it's mostly measurements, like how far the javelin throw is that gets you on the team. But for some of the other sports where it's more subjective, like gymnastics, it's a little bit hard for some of those athletes.
Well, thank you for speaking with us. It was really amazing. Those were really interesting. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Absolutely. The idea of representing my country excited me very much. I think it's great. I really love it. I dropped out because I started an apprenticeship and it was just too much. It was also at the same time the coaching team changed, so I didn't have that much of a good time. I didn't get along so well with the people in charge, so that's when I dropped out. When I look back, I feel that I should have gone on and I should have stayed. My parents also supported me, but more in a sense that they wanted me to get better all the time. Because that year I was actually swimming at times that were better than the people who qualified then for the Olympic team, which meant I would have been definitely on the team. But just at the time it seemed too much. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I worked at a rate about 8 or 9 most of the time. I was really, really good at the competition. So if I swam really well in training, and which I did in 1983 and 84, because I have that ability, I can tap into whatever, I don't know what it is, but I can just do that thing. I'm really, really good at the competition, and that's why I still do it. I don't think that training damaged me physically or mentally. I think methods were significantly different to what they are today. I think that's a good thing. Actually gave me more than it took from me. Do I have any advice for the younger athlete? The advice I could give anybody would be not to start too early. Because if you hear of anybody who's really good at anything, you hear they started at 3, they started at 4. If you're really good at something, you can also start later and enjoy more of your childhood and still become a really good athlete. Oh yes, okay, of course we were all aware of the dopers. I mean, we didn't talk about that too much. We were just kids, and I guess the grown-ups talked about it a lot. If you ask anybody in Eastern Germany or Western Germany, they'll all tell you that everybody tried to make sure that their athletes were as fit as they could be, especially with the competition going on between Eastern Germany and West Germany. Did I give anything up? Did I sacrifice while training? Of course, the thing that you sacrifice is friendships, because the people you're training with are not necessarily your friends, and the people you want to hang out with aren't necessarily in sports, so you're kind of reducing your friendships to birthday parties, maybe holidays, stuff like that. And some friendships, they last and they can withstand that stress, and some just can't. And to this day, I'm actually friends with 4 people from my school, and I'm very happy that I have that many roots. Dropping out of the team did not really affect my competitiveness in any way. For a while, I didn't do any competitions. I never actually gave up sports. And I think that's, it's just not in my nature. I really like I said, the race day feeling, and I live for race day. To this day, I really do. Yes, absolutely. I would definitely support Tiger and Ringo if they wanted to represent their country in any kind of sport. The motivation would always have to come from them, and I wouldn't want them to fulfill anything that I might feel that I've missed. And we would support them with everything they want to do.